I'm Sarah. We're going to go through what a typical move-in looks like for somebody coming into the Home at Last program. So we're going to go through the type of things we buy for a move-in. We're going to go to the furniture store and order some furniture to have delivered, and then we'll kind of show you a setup in the apartment for somebody moving in today right before Easter. So come on this journey with us. So we buy in this program with this grant, we're very lucky because we get to purchase furniture. So we buy a couch, a love seat, a bed set, and we also get a dining room table and a dresser. And then we also buy them, and that stays in the unit, and they get that brand new. And then we go and we buy everything you need to live. We have like a running list. It kind of looks like this. So for the bathroom, we get towels, washcloths, bath mats, hand towels, everything you would need to take a shower. We buy them bedding. Usually the clients don't care about picking it out. They just tell me a color palette that they like the lady that we're shopping for today. She likes blues and greens. What else? Kitchen. We buy plates, cups, dishware sets, pans, knives, garbage cans, hangers, pretty much everything you would need to start an apartment. She has Social Security, so she does get a limited income of $773 a month, which seems like a lot, but it's not. So we won't purchase her food or any like groceries for her, but if a client did not have income, we would buy some food to put in there, some water. I try to always get them something feel good, homey. So since Easter is this weekend, I'll probably get her a little decoration for her apartment to kind of make it feel like home. This individual lady that we're housing has been homeless for 4 years. Her mother, she lived with her mother, and her home burned down and her mother passed away. So she's been homeless for about 4 or 5 years now. She said that when she gets to her apartment, she's gonna sleep for days because she just wants to feel safe. So I'm really excited to get her housed. Housing has been so hard to find. We just happen to have an extra apartment waiting for somebody to move into, which is actually the client of ours that passed away before he got into housing. It's his apartment, so I feel like we're kind of like paying it forward a little bit, or like honoring his memory by getting somebody in there. So I'm super excited. So I get a referral from Open Doors Homeless Coalition, and then I have to interview them. They have to meet the criteria for my program. We get all their documentation together, and then we try to find housing. That seems to be what's slowing us down right now because they've extended the moratorium on evictions again till the end of June. So depending on how long that takes, that can sometimes be the holdup. And then client has the choice of where they want to live. So if they say, I only want to live in Biloxi, or I will only live in D'Iberville, sometimes I can limit our search even more to where we can put them. Then do the clients have a felony? That slows us down depending on the felony. A lot of places won't take people, even if your criminal history is from 25 years ago and you've gotten in no trouble since then. If you have a violent felony on your record, it really is a barrier to housing. Then once I say, great, we have an apartment, I try to have them in under a week. It's really how quick can I get the furniture. We can't move them in without electricity and furniture. The electric usually takes 2 days to get turned on. And then the furniture delivery, sometimes we have it stockpiled, sometimes we have to go and buy it and wait for them to have it delivered. Sometimes we'll go pick it up and move it in and set it up ourselves, depending on how long it will take. So it's usually a pretty quick process once we have an apartment. Within a week, I try to have them in, housed, and set up. So when we go in and bring the stuff in, we'll partially set up their apartment for them. I don't make the decisions on where you want to put your cups and bowls, but I always make their beds for them. I always put their shower rods up with the curtains on it. Kind of the little things that maybe they haven't had to do in a long time or wouldn't think to do. I kind of do all that stuff for them. The biggest adjustment seems to be the almost claustrophobia of moving into an apartment. They're all excited, this new thing, we're getting an apartment, and then I put them into the apartment and it's almost like they don't know what to do now. Sometimes they'll come to the day center and shower for months and months. They lose that kind of, even though the homeless are very insular in their camps, like they're very to themselves, they still like to talk to people and socialize. And I find that when we house them, there's almost like a boredom that sets in, or like what do I do now kind of thing. A lot of times the initial, when we first move them in, I go out and check on them quite frequently, like every week almost, just to go out and check on their mental health, how they're doing, how they're feeling about the move-in. They've never had to think about what guest policy do I want, who do I want in my apartment, like if they act up, because they have this sense of like, I'm helped, now I have to help everybody else on the streets, and they'll bring people in to shower and sleep on the couches, and then they get kicked out of their apartments by the landlords. So it's kind of teaching them to be a good neighbor. I find that the little things like mayonnaise has to go in the refrigerator. Well, they haven't had a refrigerator in years. They don't even think about like food safety and things like that. Budgeting their money now, because if you have income, you pay a portion of your rent, just like you would if you were living in Section 8 housing. It's the same formula. So for instance, this lady will pay $122 of her rent, and Back Bay Missions grant will cover the rest of her rent every month. And they also have to pay, if they have income, their electricity. So it's learning to kind of budget that $770 that they've only ever had to live on the street. So there's a lot more things they have to pay for, and remember to like pay their electric, and where do I go pay my electric. It's the little things we just kind of know how to do because we've been housed. They kind of have forgotten or not had to do. Like I have a client that we're trying to find housing for that his mother had a massive stroke. He lived with his parents his whole life. His mother had a massive stroke, doesn't even know who he is, lives in a nursing home, and his father died 23 days later. So I anticipate when we move him in, he has no idea what it is to pay rent or have his own home, because he's always just kind of lived with his parents and they've sort of taken care of him, and he's 59 years old. So got to teach old dogs new tricks sometimes. Yeah, it seems to be the little things. Like we'll give them a bed, they'll sleep on the floor in the living room with the doors open. So it's a really, I don't know, it's a really interesting thing. And then there's that sense of, who am I? I don't really belong anywhere. I had a client tell me that I don't belong anywhere and I'm not really welcome anywhere. He said, I'm not homeless, so the homeless don't really want anything to do with me. He said, but I'm housed and have no income, so the housed people don't really want anything to do with me. He said, I'm just sort of like an island, like I have nothing and no one. So it's kind of a sad, profound statement. Have the opportunity to get medical care that isn't an emergency room. They can seek treatment, they can get on their medications, we can really kind of stabilize them in their lives, and then they have like a sense of peace almost about it. Like, I don't know. It really is. I've never been homeless, so I don't know what it feels like to feel scared every night. So I just listen to their stories and try and empathize with them as best I can. But she just kept hugging me and crying, and she said, I'm just gonna sleep for days. I'm just gonna sleep. This is just such a blessing. So I just go aisle by aisle. I kind of have it down to a science now. I don't really need the list anymore. The less bags we have to carry, the better. Because if not, they drive me. So here we are at the apartment complex. We've got our stuff. We've ordered the rest of the furniture that will be delivered on Friday. She'll already be living here. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to set it up, what her unit looks like, what's already in there. So let's take some stuff up. Let's try to live where she actually lives. How about that? Ooh, we have power. This is kind of a typical apartment. She has a one bedroom because it's just her. We'll take the covers off these couches in a minute and set those up. Let's see. This is an out closet. This is their bathroom. Oh, and there you have shower curtain. Yeah, so this is her bathroom, and then this is her bedroom that we're gonna put our mattresses on. And her closet, she has a huge closet in here. You'd be surprised how many people don't make their beds when I used to just bring the stuff in. I learned the hard way, if I put stuff in, they don't always sometimes know kind of where to start, you know? So I would come and they would, everything will be still sitting in boxes and bags. So this is my way of encouraging them to make it their home. They maybe don't always know how to make a bed nicely, so I always try to start them off on the right track. They say if you make your bed every day, you'll be more successful and more productive. So let's see. Yeah, we buy all this stuff new. We don't want them sleeping on like used mattresses and stuff. Mom. So this is my friend Kevin I was telling you about it back May. This is
I'm sorry.
No, it's completely fine. So welcome to your apartment. And we've been working on getting it set up for you.
Oh my Lord.
They're gonna deliver you a dining room set on Friday up until 2 o'clock. I gave them your phone number to contact you.
Oh my Lord.
Take a minute. How long have you been homeless? It's been a while, huh? 4 years. I told Kevin you said the first thing you were gonna do was sleep for many days.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Get some rest. Well, I was blessed. I happened to have this apartment sitting on hold for you. And it's got a good story. My friend was supposed to move in here that was homeless, and he passed away 2 days before.
Oh Lord.
So
I'm sorry.
This made he would be so happy that somebody else got to take the apartment. So this brings me kind of full circle and makes me really happy. So
No, I'm so ecstatic.
yeah. Let me show you the rest. Come here.
Because
Because you told me your favorite colors were blue and green, right?
I'll sleep on the floor.
No, you're not sleeping on the floor. You have a bed. Come on.
I don't care if
So-
you're in the ground.
So we went with all blues and greens, like you asked.
Oh, those are my favorite colors.
I got you an extra shower liner in case that one gets bad. All blues and greens. And then look in your bedroom. And
Oh my Lord.
it's blue. And it's all yours. And it's a good color though. I really like the teal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I want you to have some peace. So this is a typical move-in. This is pretty much how the process goes for all my apartments. So we're really excited to have her in the program. As you can see, she's very, very grateful and excited. And you can also kind of see the struggles that people go through when they're initially housed, that overwhelming feeling that they get. So like I said, over the next couple days, we'll be in contact with her a lot as she transitions into housing to answer questions and walk her kind of through the process and make sure that she's safe and comfortable. But yeah, so this is what a typical move-in looks like for my program.